Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the best place for online entrepreneurs. On today's video, I want to talk about how you can build your online brand presence. So if you're brand new to running an online business, or if you struggle with marketing your brand online and attracting clients online, then this video is just for you. Now, before we go on, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you like today's video, don't forget to hit the like button as well. Now, before I share how to build an online brand presence, let's talk about the why. The reason why it's so important to build your online brand presence is because you need your target audience and your target customers to find your brand and learn about your brand reputation before they would even buy from you. So I'm going to walk you through the typical journey that a customer would take across any industry or across any product or service. So the first stage is the awareness stage. At this stage, your target audience, your target customer is aware of their problem and they are looking for a solution. So during the awareness stage, it's also the research stage. So they are actually researching what's the best product and brand for their problem, right? And so this is when they would come across your brand because you have an online brand presence. Now, after the awareness stage, this is where the consideration stage comes in. Now, the consideration stage is stage number 2, and this is when they start to compare different brands and different products, right? Before they decide upon one product to go with. And so during the consideration stage, they gotta be convinced of your product or your service's quality. And then we go into the third stage, which is the decision stage. Now, during the decision stage, here's where they make the pros and cons of every different product and brand before eventually settling on one. So as you can see, without an online brand presence, you would not have been found in the awareness stage, not even talking about the consideration stage or the decision stage. So let's jump right into how to build your online presence. Step number 1 is to know your goal. Before even talking about any tactics or marketing strategy, the first thing you need to know is, what's your goal? And we break down the goal into 4 different factors. The first factor is it specific? So by specific, I mean, I want to get 10 clients from my Instagram channel, right? It's very specific. You know exactly what you're measuring for. Now, the second factor is it achievable? Now, when I say is it achievable, it means, is it possible for you to get 10 customers from Instagram in one day versus 10 customers from Instagram in 1 month? It's important to set achievable goals, especially if you're starting brand new and you're building your brand presence from scratch. Now, the third factor is the measurable factor. Here, you want to make sure that your goals are measurable. So what I mean by that is, a lot of times people do marketing just for marketing's sake. They're not measuring any goals, they're not measuring any metrics at all. So they don't know if their marketing is working or not. They don't know if their goals are being met or not. So if you are looking for 10 customers through Instagram, then make sure that you're measuring the right metrics to ensure that Instagram is working for you. And also if you're doing all the right things to ensure that you're going to get 10 customers by the end of the month. And then the last factor is time bound. Now, time bound basically means that you're going to achieve this goal by this certain period of time. So ask yourself, when do you want to achieve this goal by? So start creating a goal to grow your brand presence online by focusing on 4 things: specific, achievable, measurable, and time-bound goal. Once you've created a goal, the next thing is to create consistent, valuable content. Now, I want to stress on the word consistent. It is more important to create consistent content than a lot of content at once and then disappearing for a long time. And then the next word that I want you to focus on is the word value, right? I want you to ask yourself, how can I create content that is of value to my target customers? How can I be of value to my target customers? So one way you can do that is to create content that would address the pain points and the problems of your target audience. So for example, with Hack Your Online Business, I know that some of the pain points of my target audience are how do you start an online business, or how do you get consistent recurring revenue? And so coming from a place of value, I would create content around those topics and I would share them so that my target audience would be attracted to it because it's of value. Now, once you start deciding on creating consistent value content, I want you to first prioritize on one site that your customers are currently active on. Now, notice the word I said, one site. I didn't say go be active everywhere, right? And the problem here is a lot of us are either solopreneurs or we don't have a huge team like entrepreneurs like Gary Vee or Tony Robbins, right? So when we start thinking about creating content, we gotta be so focused in order to make sure that we remain consistent creating content for that channel. We gotta pick one channel. Now, once you start growing that one channel, that one marketing channel, it's time to move on to the second channel. But before you even grow that one channel, I highly encourage you to just pick one marketing channel, put all your time and effort in it, creating content for it before you move on to the next one. And then the next point here is, as you're creating consistent, valuable content for your target audience, I want you to make sure that you are coming across as human, right? A lot of times, entrepreneurs are so focused on the sale, they forgot the part of being human. So ask yourself, how can you come across as being human in your content and in your brand? Now, once you know your goals, once you're creating consistent, valuable content, let's move on to online marketing. Now, there are many ways to grow your online brand presence with online marketing. The first way is to make sure that if you have a website right now, to make sure that your website is attractive, mobile friendly, SEO friendly, and fast. You also want to make sure that your website is a hub for all the content that you'll be creating, whether that's blog articles or YouTube videos or podcasting. You want to make sure that all these contents sit on your website. Because this brings me to part 2 of online marketing, SEO, search engine optimization. Now, what is that? Basically, people know about your brand presence when they Google about a search term related to your brand or related to your industry, and they find your website. Having a website that's full of great content will help your website get better authority so that it ranks higher in Google. Now, that helps you with the search engine optimization. So one way to rank higher in search engine optimization is to make sure that your website uses the right keywords, the right keyword phrases, have great content, is mobile friendly, fast for Google. But the second part of SEO is also making sure that you have backlinks coming back to your website. Now, what that is basically websites that are pointing back at your website because they're featuring your website's URL on their websites. So what I do for my own backlinks is to do interviews for podcasts, to go on live streams, to write blog articles for other websites. And when I do so, I am growing my backlinks because all these websites that I'm speaking for or writing for, they will include my URL, which then points back to my website. Now, SEO is so important because it's the organic way to help you to grow your brand online. You want to make sure that when someone is searching for a search term related to your industry or your service or your product, that they're able to find you on Google, ideally on page 1. Now, part 3 of online marketing is social media marketing. Now, social media marketing is a great way to grow your online brand presence without paying anything. Now, there are different social media marketing channels, and each of them fit different target audience. My biggest advice for you is to pick one, and that's going to be the one that your target audience spends the most time on. So if you're a B2B company, you would want to spend more time on LinkedIn. If you know that your target audience love watching YouTube videos, then you want to create more YouTube videos. If your brand targets moms, then maybe you want to try using Pinterest because a lot of moms are using Pinterest for searches. So ask yourself, where does my target audience hang out? And then start from there. And part 4 of online marketing is PR, public relations. Now, one way to grow your brand presence online fast is to make sure that you're getting enough PR. Now, PR could mean getting featured on the news, getting featured on magazines, getting featured on websites, or even partnering up with other brands or people who have access to your target audience. So know your goals, create consistent, valuable content, and use online marketing to build your online brand presence. Now, I want to talk about the 4 mistakes that a lot of people make when they're building their online brand presence. And the first mistake that people make is being present everywhere. Like I talked about it, you don't want to be everywhere, especially if you're starting out and you don't have a team to support you. Not everyone has time all day long to be present online. So you want to make sure that you're picking one marketing channel where you know that your target audience are going to be there and start from that one channel. Grow that one channel, grow your community on that one channel before moving on to the next channel. The second mistake that people make when they're trying to build their brand online is not having a consistent branding across all of their creatives, across all of their copy, across the entire tone of voice. So you need to make sure that across your websites, across your graphics, across your social media posts, across your videos, your podcasts, across everything, that you're using the same tone of voice, you're using the same colors, the same style, the same branding. So I want you to think of this brand Nike, right? Nike is a classic example of using the same branding across all apparels, across all ads, print, news, online, everything, right? They are so consistent, even across different countries, right? If you were to go to Canada right now, in Canada, Nike has the same branding as the Nike in Australia. So think about that. How do you maintain consistency across your brand, even though you're on Instagram or LinkedIn or a YouTube video? Now, the third mistake that people make when they're trying to grow their brand online is they focus on selling over helping. Now, I've talked about this earlier, the importance of being human, right? So I want you to think of ways of how you can help your target customers without pushing the sales. If they've got a question about your product or service or about the industry in general, answer it from a place of help versus answering it from a place of just buy my stuff. And then the last mistake that people make when it comes to building your brand presence online is not being patient. Building a brand presence online doesn't happen overnight. Even if you were to start appearing on every marketing channel, even if you were to start creating consistent, valuable content, even if you know your marketing goals, it doesn't happen overnight. Just like how babies don't suddenly start running, they go through the crawling stage first before walking, before running. We gotta look at brands and building an online brand presence the same way. Now, there's no average amount of time that it takes to build an online brand presence, but it really depends on you and the amount of time and effort that you put behind creating those valuable content consistently and also using different online marketing tools to build your overall brand presence online. Now that I've shared how to build an online brand presence for your brand, I want you to leave me a comment below and let me know what you struggle with when you're building your online brand presence. While you wait for next week's video, I post a lot of content on business, marketing, and entrepreneurship. So don't forget to go check out these two videos that I have right here as well. I promise you're gonna learn something new, and as always guys, appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to hit the like button if you liked today's video. And again, if you have not subscribed to today's channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. See you in the next video.